training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready.
Welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Weezy Shoemaker, and I'm joined by Justin McClintock, who forgot to hit record almost 6 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, two
We
minutes ago.
forgot to hit record. No one noticed that it wasn't recording. Let's just say that.
So we were just doing an imaginary podcast.
It was pretty good. That was like
It was
5.5
good.
minutes of gold. It's gone forever.
That was really good. I was commenting to Justin that he's wearing sustained green today, which I'm really impressed by. We're wearing the same shade of green right now.
And the same shade of blue leggings/shorts.
Well, you're not wearing leggings because you're not built for them.
You're not wearing shorts, so
I'm not wearing shorts.
Yeah.
Although I did acquire some shorts this week, which are the first shorts I've bought in a very long time.
well done. I support it.
The only thing that I needed to do to find shorts that both fit and that I was comfortable going outside in was size up.
Yep.
Incredible. What a realization. I feel phenomenal in them.
I have been there. I genuinely don't know the answer to this question. For the clothes that don't fit anymore, especially if they haven't fit for a while, I don't know, it's been at least 4 months, 6 months, something like that. Do you donate them / toss them? Do you save them? Like, how does that function in your...
It depends.
And if you don't want to talk about this, we can also just skip along.
No, I'm happy to talk about this. For some of them, if it's like, truly it depends. If it's a really nice thing that I think I'm likely to want to wear again at some point, I will probably put it into our storage room. Like, I have a Tupperware of, hey, these are clothes that at some point I might want to wear again, that all are approached intentionally, right? If it's likely to be out of style, or if it's raggedy, or if it's totally unrealistic for me to expect that it's going to fit and it's just going to like haunt me out there, those things find a new home. But the things that I think are unlikely to fall out of style, or that are close enough to the size that I currently am, that perhaps I might want them at some point, whether I get a little smaller or a little larger, right? Because both are possible, and I have stuff on either side of that spectrum. Or if it's just something that I really, really love and would not want to part with. But generally speaking, I like to find new homes for stuff. And so I will reach out to people who I think are the size that the thing is, who I think might actually like it, and try to give it a new life that way, usually.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I moved 4 months ago at this point, I think. And as part of that, I did several purges.
Yep.
I love purging. Moving is terrible. Purging is super fun. Going through books and going through tools and going through all of that stuff, and going through clothes was part of it. And my general rule is, if I haven't touched it in 12 months, it should probably leave the house.
Yeah.
This would do someone else more good. I love giving to thrift stores and donating clothes and things like that. But there were a bunch of clothes, especially what I would consider dress clothes, like nicer button downs, suits, things like that. And I realized I hadn't worn a bunch of these in a while. I save those because when it comes up, it comes up.
Yeah.
And I tried everything on, and I fucking spiraled because nothing was fitting. Not even close. I started putting, and not fitting in, some for that's kind of cool reasons. Like I've obviously been squatting more and my butt's gotten bigger, and that's why this is. Some because that doesn't fit around my stomach. That I'm having some real feelings about that.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of bench pressing. I've got these gaps in a bunch of dress shirts now because I've gotten broader. So it looks terrible. But I went on a spiral for it was probably a good 90 minutes of feeling worse and worse and worse, and picked up all of the clothes and was starting to march them toward a garbage bag, and my wife basically tackled me. It was like, hey, what are you doing?
Hey.
Nope, these are making me feel terrible. They all have to go. She's like, you might be right. Can we try them on again tomorrow?
Right.
Sure. And I threw them in a pile, and the next day, wouldn't you know, some of the stuff actually fit just fine.
Right.
And I had let like the previous pair of pants get into my head and was like, nothing fits, and I've gained so much weight, and nothing that makes me feel this way should be in the house. I was like,
Right.
I almost threw out, several $1,000s worth of perfectly good clothes, and some of them I did get rid of. I mean, I didn't throw anything out. I donated. It was all in good shape. Some of it got donated, but some of it was actually fine. And I had just sort of gotten rage blind and almost unable to function.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I've been rage blind this week. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. We should keep updating people. This is, even though I forget what kind of delay we're on. We're on at least a month delay here.
Yeah, somebody reached out to me this week and was like, "Oh, you toured 5 places this week?" I was like, "No, that was
I
a
remember
couple
that.
months ago." Right. That was a happier, simpler, more hopeful, more optimistic, less grizzled time.
Rizzled? I'm not sure
Grizzled,
you're using that word correctly.
maybe not. Yes, so the update is that we are moving at the speed of legal in trying to open sustained. I have at this point submitted what I think is a pretty good for me version of the lease that I'm just very confident they're going to push back on. And so that's going to probably add another 5 to 8 days to the turnaround. Who knows? They got it Wednesday morning. So probably overly
Hopefully
optimistic
by
to.
next Wednesday, you'll hear
Right.
something.
Right. And the something will either be great, let's sign, unlikely, or here's our edits, have your lawyer review, and then we add another 4 or 5 days to the mix. So I'm optimistically clinging to the idea that I will get keys on or around the 1st. Who knows?
Could be. That'd be nice.
Could be. Could be. That'd be nice. I am getting over there on Monday afternoon with my realtor and a prospective painter
Mhm.
to get an estimate on paint because as much as I believe he's qualified to do so, I don't particularly want Ted up on a 24-foot ladder in a hallway. So
Because you're worried about him being on a tall ladder?
um, no, I just don't want him to paint in such a small surface when he probably could do it adequately, and it would likely take him an entire week. And there would likely be some spots that would not be up to my snuff, and I would feel weird about, like, hey, get the ladder back out here and do it again. Like,
Especially stuff reaches, like, as someone who's extremely comfortable on big ladders and heights, it just takes so much longer. And
yeah,
there's a million, everything is like this, but there's a million little things. When you do something for a living and you do it basically every day,
yeah,
you're much, much, much faster. And
right,
it's not just that you're better, even if you have like similar skill painting levels,
yeah,
just this is the right order to lay things out in, and I can put a ladder up by myself in
yeah,
5 seconds and not fuck around with it for 3 minutes trying to make sure it's right and safe. And just all those little things
right,
that make something move very smoothly versus not.
right.
Yeah. I think
So
that's a good place to spend money.
the hope would be that they're able to start from the front of the building and work front to back so that as soon as they're done painting, he can start laying floors because
Mhm.
he is equipped and happy and signed off on by me to
Right.
do that portion of the job.
It's approved by corporate.
Right. Approved by corporate. So I'm hoping maybe next recording we'll
Mhm.
have an actual update, but it's just more hurry up and wait right now.
Yeah, yeah, I totally feel that. I'm in a much smaller scale. I'm in a little bit of a pause with Feel Strong HQ because I got all the flooring and rough laid it out in the space and forgot how much horse stall mats off gas, and it just stinks.
Yeah.
And I might end up pulling them out onto the driveway and letting them sit in the sun. Sunlight is actually really good at helping
Yeah.
some of that stuff. I have doused them in a simple green cleaner. I actually did the 3rd coat of it this morning, which there's a lot of anecdotes saying that any kind of like neutral pH cleaner is good at knocking it down. That's
Hmm.
the one people have had the most success with. And
Hmm.
it seems to have already worked. When my wife gets home this evening, she stores her bike in the same garage that the space is in. So I'm going to ask her, what do you think of the smell? Because
Right.
she reported that it smells like tires are burning 3 days ago. So hopefully we're not there. But before I like cut things to size and tape things down and start moving heavy stuff on top of it, I want to make sure that we're happy with the floor because I don't want to
Right.
tear it right back up.
Right. Yeah. Pause for off gassing. Very reasonable.
Yeah, and I am not ordering like the squat rack is going to be the big part, but I'm not ordering a squat rack or plates or any of that stuff
Yeah.
until I'd like to put it together once and kind of move it once
Hmm.
because it's going to be big and heavy. So if I can
Yeah.
get it kind of delivered in the driveway, drag it in that space, build it in that space, that's going to be plenty of work by itself. I'm probably saving myself quite a few hours by
Right.
just being a little bit patient.
I feel like I'm in a little bit of a similar place when it comes to ordering equipment because I would have really liked to capitalize on tax-free weeks,
Mm-hmm.
which was actually 14 days tax-free,
A tax-free fortnight.
tax-free fortnight. But I did not want to have to move it twice unless it was just a really great deal. So I bought a couple of chairs and incline benches and adjustable dumbbells because the sale was incredible. Didn't want to miss out on it. They were also honoring tax-free time. But everything else, I don't want to order the racks. I don't want to order bars. I don't want to order plates. I don't want to order a dumbbell rack, like all because it's going to take so much energy to move it again. I'd rather just pay 10% more.
Yeah, and moving it twice, it's a bunch of extra time. It's just another step for something to get fucked up or something to happen to it. It's
Right.
just another like you're just introducing more failure points into the
Right.
system.
Introducing more potential friction, which
Yep.
is a good lesson for anybody listening to this, even if you're not building a gym. The less friction points, the likely better the thing is going to do.
Yeah, especially knowing there's all the stuff you don't know that's going to happen, right?
Right.
Like for example, this delay you didn't know was going to happen. If you had ordered all of your equipment when you decided like we got approved, they're going to let us
Right.
have a lease for this space. I'm going to order however many tens of thousands of dollars of gear it's going to take to outfit
Hmm.
Sustained, and it showed up and you couldn't move it in and it was sitting in your driveway, that would potentially be a situation. So
Right.
being able to think ahead and foresee like, this might not move at the speed I want it to. It's worth waiting a couple of days and seeing if it does. You've
Right.
avoided a couple relatively predictable potholes.
Right. Yeah. We at this point have known that this place was going to be the home since the 27th of July. So it's almost been a whole month of just like paperwork.
Just waiting.
Just
Just
waiting.
people are
Just
reading
waiting.
pieces of paper and talking to each other. And
Right.
they'll let me know when
Um,
someone's made a decision.
my oldest really likes the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. And there's a portion of it about the waiting place where
Mm-hmm.
everybody here is just waiting. Okay,
Just waiting.
I'm in the waiting place. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get into branding?
Yeah, let's talk branding. That's what we're doing today.
So this podcast idea came about because of a question you asked me related to building out Sustained, and it kind of sent my brain down a bunch of other little tributaries.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, your question was if I pay you $10,000, meaning you pay me $10,000, will I put in a turquoise rig in Sustained?
Mm-hmm.
And my answer is vehemently no, because
Immediately.
that's immediately, right? Like, would I like $10,000 for free? Absolutely. However, that is so off brand for me that it would not make sense. Like it would be totally confusing to people walking in. And so that led me down this pathway of so then what is a brand and why is it maybe so important?
I think I should interject at this point that I was absolutely trolling you. This came up as part of a discussion where I don't remember the exact context, but it was something around your desire for the client experience and the kind of
Hmm.
gym and the kind of place and the kind of feeling you wanted Sustain to have and some decisions you were making around that. So I was sort of making a point, and I think I said, I will give you 10 grand today as a gift for free, nothing if you let me install a single Feel Strong Blue squat rack in your space.
Yeah.
And you were immediately like, no, fuck off. Well,
Yeah.
that's exactly my point, because
Right.
this is how much you care about the brand and you want to control the experience. knowing that everything else makes perfect sense.
Right. So first, before we get into it, I want to define what a brand is.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of different definitions based on who you ask, where you ask it. But the overwhelming kind of consensus is that a brand is the overall perception and experience that a customer has with a product, service, or company.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think what's important to call out about that is that it's the overall perception and experience. It's not just the experience, but it is how the person who is buying from you perceives the experience.
Completely, or considering buying from you, or
Right.
hearing about you, or deciding they will never work with you again, or ever
Right.
work with you, period. All of those people. I think it was Stu Brower, who's a buddy from BTF Gym Talk, told me that brand is what people say about you behind your back.
Yeah.
It is not your logo. It is not your mission statement. It's not. It's when someone leaves, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I go to this great gym." Like, what's it like? Whatever they say next is your brand.
Is your brand. See, that's wonderful. I love that. That's, I think, not commonly like what people describe it as. It's what's my logo? What are my colors? What verbiage do people use,
Right.
etc.
And well, I don't want to leapfrog you. I imagine we're going somewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, but those are the things that especially newer business owners, and in our business, newer coaches and newer gym owners spend all of their time on.
Right.
And like
What's my color
like
palette?
honing in the color and the angle and going through 37 revisions of the logo. And that's all really important, but
Right.
it only matters if it actually serves the brand, and the brand is the thing that you think it is.
So on the surface, brand is like your brand kit, like what you'd set up in Canva is here's my logo, here's my colors, here's the fonts that I use, yada, yada, yada. To be clear, you need that. Boris over at Metcon Creative put something on his story. Genius, absolute genius. If you're a
Amazing.
gym,
Yeah.
small business, and looking for marketing support, strongly recommend. And I'm not a client who pays him either. I just think I've learned a lot from his free content. And should I ever need one on one support, that's where I'd go. He put up something on stories weeks ago that hit me like a brick wall that said, hey, what fonts are you using in stories? Okay, and why is it fonts? Why isn't it font? Right? It needs to be one font.
Mm-hmm.
When they see that font, they need to associate it with you. And so if you're somebody who's kind of bouncing around and using lots of different fonts based off of what your mood is, quit it. Cut it out. It matters because it comes down to how you're perceived and what people expect from you.
And it's how it feels, right?
Yeah.
If
Right.
it feels consistent, it feels unified, it feels like the same thing. I have never, certainly in years, put up a story that has text in it that is other than the solid blue feel
Yeah.
strong, as close as I can get to feel strong, in the Instagram color background. It's white
Yep.
writing on that blue background. Always.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
Always.
Yep. So I don't always use the same colors, but I'm now always using the poster font.
Sure.
Which before for me, it was like, what does this story feel like? Great. I'm going to put that font. Like, shit, this is like an easy, easy miss for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of building bricks, right? Like that is
right.
Whenever I have, it still happens occasionally, some business guru will come through and like, do you want me to do a quick audit of your Instagram or something? Like, sure, fine. And 95% of the time, they're like, honestly, it's really consistent. It's pretty good. And I know they're just scrolling through, but all of the blues are the same blues, and all of the whites are the same whites, and the text is all the same text. There's two fonts I use, and one's bold and one's not bold. And that's basically all true, save maybe like the odd meme or something like that. And that consistency is part of the brand.
Right. Yeah. To that tune as well, to the predictability piece, people want to know what to expect from you in terms of how you're going to behave. Right. And so how you speak, the type of vernacular that you use, whether you speak really fast or really slow, whether it's really loud or a little quieter, whether it's really emphatic or whether it's a little more stoic, it matters. And then also hey, what potential issues do I speak out about or not speak out about? Or do I use profane language or not?
Mhm.
Right? Like somebody on either side of the aisle of all of this is maybe going to have a really staunch opinion on that's terrible and you shouldn't do it that way and here's why and
Right.
unprofessional and blah blah blah. Here's the font and the tone and the verbiage and blah 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 to do to attract the most superior or widest audience. And also, at the end of the day, if it's inauthentic to you, somebody's going to smell a rat.
Completely. And part of the danger, I think, in that race toward the middle, if you're trying to make everybody happy, you are going to make nobody particularly happy,
Right,
including yourself, and end up in this bland anodyne place that you are dissatisfied with.
right,
Right? If you are not being authentic to yourself, especially as a small business owner, especially in this kind of like service industry where we're working with people and trying to change lives and do things like that, it feels awful if you're being
right,
inauthentic or delivering something that you don't believe in or are kind of holding yourself back from delivering the full version of because you think you'll be too much or it'll drive people away or
right,
something like that.
right. I think too, there can be the sort of scarcity mindset of, well, if I disqualify somebody before they even get in the door, how will I help them if I can and want to? Right. This is something that I did not a tremendous amount of homework on, but a little of the prior tenant of Sustained, which was also a fitness enterprise, and wanted to understand without directly calling them up and saying, hey, what happened? Why'd you go? Understanding what might have occurred here. And so did a quick audit of their social media and their website. And no shade or ill will meant at all, but it was very like, we're for everybody. Get strong, get more mobile, lose weight, feel good, be happy. And there was no specific language to it. It was really uninspiring if you're somebody with a specific problem or a specific thing that you need help with. Hey, if they're saying they do all these different things, it just kind of feels like a buffet,
Yeah.
right? Like if I want filet mignon, I'm not going to go somewhere that is an all you can eat buffet that also has filet mignon there.
Right. Because you're probably not going to trust either version of it,
No,
right? Like
right,
if you want the all you can eat buffet, you're like, well, I can't. That's a filet mignon place. I'm not. Why would I go there? That's ridiculous.
right.
And if
That's
you want the
ridiculous.
filet, you're like, well, I'm not. No, I'm going to go to a place that actually cares about what they do when I'm dropping this
Right,
kind of coin.
right. And so the idea of, well, I can help all these people, and if they don't think I can, then I'm not going to make enough money. That's honestly a deterrent to people who are looking for specific solutions.
Yeah, completely agree.
What is the thing that I do really well? How do I do it? Great. And then maybe there's somebody who observes that work and wonders, hey, I wonder if they could do it for me.
Hmm.
I'm not the explicit person that they're speaking to, but I wonder, could they do this other thing? Right? That's happened for me. I don't know if that's happened for you.
Completely. Yes. It's interesting because I recently was talking to some current clients about referrals. I strongly, strongly prefer to get clients via referrals. I have a
Mhm.
couple of openings. So I reached out to some of my favorite people and said, hey, I have some openings. If you're down to refer some people to me, who do you know who would be a good fit for people like me? And I had the conversation more than once as a follow-up to that statement slash question. Like,
Mhm.
no, I understand. You think of me as someone who only does your program. And you are doing a Olympic lifting centric program, or you are doing a postnatal wellness program, or you are doing, I get that. I do a little bit more than that. Could I
Right.
tell you about what I do from an outside perspective? And that was
Mhm.
interesting to have a conversation with people who've been working with me in some cases for years to sort of inform them slash remind them of what I look like to outside people,
Right.
especially doing the custom kind of work. Because there was a lot of people who are like, oh, well, I'm the active one in my friend group. So none of my friends would be able to work with you because they can't go like I do or they can't go as hard as I do. I said, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Part of
yeah.
my job is turning those people into you. So let me handle that and let me have those conversations and let me tell them no or let them tell me no. But
Right.
expanding that a little bit was an interesting, a couple of interesting conversations last week.
What a cool little focus group for you.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a good time.
I love it. I love it. So when we're thinking about a brand, the big pieces that come to mind for me that I am curious to hear your thoughts on are the core values that you have, the emotional connection that consumers feel to your brand, who you're for, and why you're for them.
Yes.
And for me, kind of everything comes back to that for me, right? What are my values? What do people feel when they interact with my brand, whether it's in person or remotely? Who am I for? Why am I for them?
Yeah. And I also like this is what I'm about to say is sometimes very unpopular slash controversial with branding people,
Here
but
we go.
I like turning it around the other way too. That can be one of the most illuminating things for a brand. Like, okay, tell me who you won't work with. Who's a really bad fit for your business? Who should definitely not hire you as a coach?
Mm,
And if someone says, well, nobody, I can help everyone. Okay, you don't understand what you do
boo.
or enough about other clients or maybe enough about the world. Maybe you just, your perspective isn't big enough.
Right.
And then digging down on that idea, the negative, focusing on the things my perfect client hates has been very useful to me. My ideal client cannot fucking stand their time being wasted. They
Mm,
hate it. They would rather get it done in 15 minutes than 60 minutes. If I
mm,
can provide a incredibly effective, efficient solution, that's a
mhm.
winner. I work with busy moms and busy professionals and people who have stuff to do. The expanding into a 60-minute spa session with a bunch of filler, if it needs to be 60 minutes, that's great. Yeah, that's the
Right.
appropriate thing. But
Right.
it better, every single part of it better work and better have a reason.
Hmm.
Realizing that, like the kind of pet peeves of my sort of avatar, has been really useful for me.
That's really helpful. So if there's ever the question of why are we doing this, and the answer is it seemed like a good thing to do, that's wildly off brand for you.
Yeah. I thought it'd be fun. We've got a few minutes left.
I thought you'd like it.
Be a good time. Like, what are you talking about? I'm
No,
out of
I got 70 other things on my to-do list for the day.
here. Yeah,
Get out of
legit.
here. When we're thinking about a brand, everything matters, right? And so I'm doing a lot of work right now thinking about that for sustained and thinking about what are people's first impressions when they walk through the door and even prior to that, right? So something that I do already that I'm really proud of that I would like to automate and I am not quite there yet is pre-appointment for their first appointment. Here is everything to expect out of the space.
Mm,
And so
yep.
before somebody comes to the CrossFit gym that I work out of now, 2 days before, not one day before, because maybe they don't check their email every day. Not everybody that I work with has a traditional job, and so they might not need to do that. 2 days prior, they get an email from me reminding them what time their appointment is, letting them know what time I will be there and setting the space up for them, letting them know that there's a changing room, letting them know that there's a bathroom, letting them know that we will start the session by just taking a quick tour of the space so that they know where everything is, telling them where to park, telling them where not to park, and giving them a phone number to reach me if there is a last minute emergency, right? Hey, I want to reduce ambiguity because I am somebody who I feel really anxious when something is ambiguous. And a lot of the time, my ideal client reflects me in some way,
Hmm. Yep.
right? From there, when they walk into sustained, what does the lighting look like? How and are they greeted? What does it smell like? How clean is it? Is there clarity on what to do next? Right. For example, there's one PT's office that I commonly go to here in Columbus when there's something that I need. Or if we're sharing a client, right? Maybe we'll go back and forth to support that client. They have a waiting room, and right there, huge letterboard posted, hey, shoot us a text message when you get here, have a seat, grab a cup of coffee. Bathrooms are just through the door on the left.
Super clear.
Super clear. There's not, okay, I'm here. Should I sit? Do I put my stuff down? Is there a place I can go? Like, I'm 20
Yep.
minutes early because I really need to pee. What do I do now? Right. There's a clear here and here and here and here. They don't need to pay to have somebody in that space greeting somebody, but there's still absolute clarity. It's also clean. It's quiet and separate from the CrossFit gym that they share space with. It's well lit. It smells nice. It feels really comfortable and clinical and clean, and it invites you in, which is genuinely their brand.
Yeah. So it's clean, it's clear, and it's on purpose. Like it
Right.
feels deliberate.
That's
It's
right.
it's organized without having, there's not a million files and there's not a seat with your name on it and a time.
Right.
You don't, that stuff may or may not be useful or necessary.
Right.
But from the moment you open the door, you know exactly where you are, you know exactly where to
Yep.
go, you know exactly what to expect. And that
Yep.
starts already making people feel comfortable, especially at the first time at anything like this, a PT or
Yeah.
a gym or a trainer, etc. People are coming in a little heightened. People are
Right.
worried or anxious or excited, or like there's stuff going on. So if you cannot add to that, especially
Right.
before you've been able to actually speak to them, it's a huge win. And so
Right.
much of this is just thinking through, like we were talking about friction at the beginning when I think we recorded that. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure we recorded that. The thinking through, like, well, what are the 8 ways this could go wrong?
Yeah.
If someone's trying to, they could not know where to park and end up 4 blocks away, and it's a hot day, and by the time they get to me, they're sweaty and cranky.
Right.
How could we avoid that?
Right.
One sentence.
One sentence. That's all it takes. Right. So I'm starting to think a lot about that because I also will not initially have somebody right up front greeting unless it's me. Right.
Mhm.
And I certainly don't want somebody to walk in and feel like they are uncertain or in the way, or where should I be? How should I be behaving? Right. I want it to feel really clear. And that is fundamentally a part of the brand of Sustained.
Yep.
No
Completely agree.
ambiguity.
I got in several arguments with the gym owner about this idea, where the gym had gone through a couple of hands, and for a while there was always someone at the front desk. They got paid to be there, they answered the phones, they did some other admin things, stuff like that too, but somebody was there. If the gym was open, somebody was at the front desk.
Yeah.
And then that went away. And then there was nobody at the front desk. There was nothing. And it was a CrossFit based gym mostly. So a lot of the time when the gym was open, like music was raging and plates were
Yeah.
bouncing and people were swinging, and people would come down this weird set of stairs, which already doesn't look like a gym because it's a
Yeah.
basement and it's odd, and turn the corner and there's nothing. There's no guidance. The hallway
Right.
goes both
What do I
directions.
do?
There's fucking chaos through that door, so I don't want to walk in there. And now I'm coaching 24 people doing all kinds of stuff. It's up to me to see this person out of the corner of my eye and,
Right.
I guess, leave my job to go ask them some questions and give them direction and connect with a person. I hated it. I hated it. I was like, can we do anything? Like a big sign would be great. A big sign
Right.
would be amazing.
Amazing. It
Or
could
lock
have a
the door if
QR
people
code.
shouldn't come in. Or like
Right. Yeah.
something.
I mean, that's what, if there's a boutique fitness studio that has a class ongoing, they lock the doors as soon as class starts.
Tons of them. The Metabolic does that, and they are
Yeah.
vicious about it, and I love it. It's totally my style. Like, no, it is 9 o'clock and 0 seconds. The door is locked, and there's nobody here to unlock the door for you.
Right.
Don't be late next time.
Right. There's no burpee penalty, but you just can't come in.
No, you don't get to come. And you might have the best reason in the world, and it's irrespective of reason.
Yeah. You organically brought up what I want to talk about next, which
Huzzah.
is related to the tone of the space.
Yep.
Right. Music. What and how loud. Colors, which we'll get into in a second. Equipment. What do you have? Right. If you are a place that has dumbbells, barbells, things that might get chalk stuck in them, are those well maintained? Are they clean? right? Are the shelves free of dust? Are the walls scuffed up, or do they have holes in them for when Steve dropped a barbell a year ago? Do they have scuff marks from shoes? Also, then related to the equipment itself, is it well upkept? Do I have a rig that I got for $99 on Amazon, or do I have something quality that I know somebody can walk a loaded barbell into and it's not going to respond negatively to?
And so many of these things are about how it feels, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, tone. I think that's exactly the right term
Yeah.
because statistically, nobody knows anything about lighting. No one knows everything about audio or oral engineering. Nobody knows anything about really quality fitness equipment. And most people couldn't tell you, a Rogue versus a Rep versus a Titan versus a et
Right.
cetera. But all of these things feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it really comes down to. No one
Right.
cares what brand light bulb you're using, but they are going to notice how it feels.
Right. Right. I remember a while ago now. I don't remember who the first person to do it was, but I remember experiencing it when mirrors in dressing rooms started being backlit with
Hmm.
actual flattering lighting rather than like just dreadful shadow casting overhead. Like, oh my God, is this what I look like out in the world? And I remember only wanting to shop in that way
Yeah.
from that point forward because it just feels so much better.
Yep. 100%. The
And I
Go
don't
ahead.
care at all. I don't care at all about how bright it is or the type of bulb or blah, blah, blah. I care that I felt a certain way in that room because of the way the light allowed me to look.
When I worked in lighting, I did a lot of stuff for big corporate things and a lot of stuff for fashion houses, basically.
Hmm.
And both of those it was all about the tone and the feel.
Right,
And we would obsess over very small details that no one would ever notice. But if you hit all of these thousand details, the thing feels amazing. And no
right.
one is ever going to know that, oh, there wasn't a loop of cable up there. And we had to send John up, and it actually took an hour and was a huge pain to get that loop of cable hidden in somewhere else. But
Yeah,
the fact that it's a clean line, no one notices. And that's good because they're
right.
not supposed to be looking here. I need them to be looking here. And just,
That's
just
right.
that sensation is, I don't know if I've told this story on the pod before, but I did a big event for a Cartier jewelry exhibit once, which is
Ooh,
amazing. Like, a $3.5 million set of earrings kind of
yeah,
event. And there were going to be a bunch of super famous people, including a bunch of people whose names you've heard. We're going to come by and look at stuff and maybe buy stuff. And I think we spent 3 hours getting the bathroom lighting right. And it
yeah,
was a single seat, just a bathroom. We like took over the store and changed it. And it was all about like the right shade and the right brightness and the
yeah,
right direction and just like nailing that. Not because the bathroom's not going to steal the show. Maybe no one will ever use it, but it needs to agree with everything else. Because what you don't
right.
want is someone to walk through this curated experience,
Yeah,
open the door, and be like blasted in the face with this awful fluorescent and everything else.
yeah,
And that was time well spent and time the client was more than happy to pay for because it made everything work and it just all
right.
feels right.
So I'm starting to think about that when it comes to sustained as
Hmm.
well with, hey, what's in the shower? What type of shower curtain do I have? What colors do I paint the bathrooms? What kind of storage do I have in the bathrooms? What kind of amenities do I have in the bathrooms? What soap do I use?
Yeah, all of it.
And so it all matters because exactly to that point, if upfront is beautiful and inviting and expectations are clear and people know where they can and should be and maybe cannot and should not be, and they walk back to go to the bathroom and it's like bright orange dial soap in a white painted room, like that doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
exactly.
right. It doesn't.
And to be clear, a lot of these things are not necessarily about being expensive or being premium. It might want to feel premium, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of distance between just paying a bunch of money for something and making it feel the way it's supposed to feel. Maybe
Right,
the orange dial in a little ceramic pump dispenser is all it takes.
right,
And I just described a probably $3 at Walmart investment, but it's
right.
miles from seeing that runny plastic thing just sitting on the counter
Yep.
versus, oh, this looks like an on purpose. Great.
The other thing that I want to talk about that I want to nerd out a little bit on is the idea of color theory. And I hope that you're going to be into this.
Yeah, I'm totally down.
So, Goethe, I think I'm pronouncing that correct, said that color perception is subjective and influenced by individual experiences, emotions, and cultural context. And so he's the person who kind of created the color wheel and the feelings associated to it in its most sort of primitive scope, like starting to
Really?
associate colors with feelings.
We're
I
talking about
think.
the Goethe, the poet? I had no Goethe, by the way. I had no idea. I had
Thank
no
you.
idea that's. I just learned something. That's cool.
I hope that that's correct. I think that's correct. From my
That's
research,
amazing.
that's correct. And so I wanted to read you out some of the color theory behind the colors of sustain.
Mhm.
And I think that will resonate. And then I would encourage you to maybe do a deep dive on this on the Feel Strong colors as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So, evergreen reflects the resilience and longevity of an evergreen tree and generally symbolizes stability, endurance, longevity, etc. Sage green, wisdom, healing, and a deep connection to nature. Volt yellow evokes a feeling of excitement, creativity, and innovation, which is really important to me as kind of our sparky brand color because one of my core values is curious, a little zippy, a little interested. Deep turquoise is a color that I don't use a whole lot, but occasionally it'll show up in some branding. Symbolizes protection and healing. And then sunset orange induces a sense of optimism, adventure, and transition, symbolizing a change and the end of one cycle to begin another. Think about like a sunset, right?
That's cool. I love it.
Yeah. So, when I created the sustained color palette, I certainly didn't deep dive into this. It was more like, what colors do I like and what do I like to wear and what
Yeah.
feels right, right? But then diving a little deeper after the fact and realizing, oh no, this is actually exactly how I would like this to be perceived. It was really cool to notice that subconsciously I had chosen colors that were in alignment with my brand.
Yeah, and because it felt right from the beginning, right? Like it
Right.
immediately felt right, even if you didn't have, the sort of official reasons why it works. You knew it worked, and then having the reasons behind it, sort of like working from your core values, lets you get better and better and better and make sure that it works the way it's actually supposed to.
Right. And deciding, okay, what needs to be the biggest color and where does it need to be pushed a little harder and where do I maybe need to use something else, right? And we could apply this to anything, not just color, but okay, how does this either inform or detract from the point that I'm trying to make overall as a brand? Right? Your brand is either deeply considered or recklessly ignored.
I love that terminology. And I have seen this done badly so often in the modern world that it blows my mind.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
small businesses doing, and you may not even realize it. I'll see a sign hanging out and I can't read it yet and I don't know what it is, but from 200 yards away, I kind of think I know what that business is. Like,
Right.
oh, that's gonna be like a cutesy arts and crafts shop, or like, oh, that might be a noodle bar, and you get closer and like, wait, it's a mechanic. Why don't? How did you miss this badly? I never would have. If I was looking around for a mechanic, I would have gone right by you because
Right.
you're presenting in this other way, using a different language, using a different tonality, using different shapes, using different colors.
Right.
It is not speaking to that at all.
So, if you're somebody listening to this who is struggling finding kind of a cohesive tone to your brand, we would encourage you to maybe peel back the layers a little bit on what do I want people to feel and experience when they're interacting with either my physical space or my digital platform. How do I want this to feel? And nothing is too small. Everything matters.
God is in the details. It is absolutely everything. It matters so much.
Absolutely. something to close on before we get into a segment, which I'm just delighted and terrified to see what you have planned for us today, is that you're either choosing your intentional brand or it's being assigned to you.
So what do you mean by that? Because I think that's extremely well put.
Yeah. You have either decided how people are going to perceive you, and you've spent a lot of time and effort into creating that, call it persona, right? And trying not to overlook anything. And I mean persona the business, not just of you, right? You don't have to share a perfect persona with the
Right.
business. However, if they're misaligned, people are going to be like, that smells a little off. If you're not doing that, that doesn't mean you don't have one. That just means that people are choosing it for you based off of the choices that you either have or have not made. Right? So like choosing to have dirty floors, choosing to have rusty bars, choosing to not have somebody at the front desk, choosing to use a soap dispenser on the wall that smells like a hospital versus something in a metal container on your sink. All of these are maybe not intentional. Oh, I'm going to go with this because it's cheaper, right? It matters. Nothing is too tiny. Nothing is too tiny.
Yeah, it's so many little things that matter so much. And if you don't think it matters, you are already on the road to letting other people take your brand from you and determine what it is.
Right.
And if these are things, to be clear, like you and I are pretty aligned on what we do and how we run things, you can absolutely have, and I know people who do this well and successfully, a down and dirty and grungy and loud and intimidating gym or any kind of business like that. But embrace that.
Right.
Don't have wispy pink and tan and, you know, people doing yoga poses as your outward messaging, and talk about how everyone is always welcome and we can help everyone. And if whatever's happened to you, you should show up. And when I walk through the door, there's just clouds of dust and Pantera screaming and dudes slapping each other in the face to hype themselves up for deadlifts. I sometimes work out in places like that and have a great time, but that's what I'm going for.
That's what you're going for.
I want a place that's a little intense and I feel perfectly fine here. I'm going to go to that place but they have to be aligned. Like
they have to
say the thing that you are and be the thing that you are. If either one of those isn't hitting, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Right. This is honestly a big reason why I decided in the first place that I was ready to open my own space, is because there were things outside of my control that were influencing the way that customers were experiencing my brand. That even if it wasn't necessarily costing me any business, right? I've had a full roster for a while now. I was no longer comfortable with, okay, if I'm here, that is saying that I permit the noise, that I permit the music that's playing, that I permit how hot it is, that I permit the hair and dust and chalk and salt on the ground, that I permit that there's nobody at the front, that I permit that there's streaks in the toilet, right? It didn't cost me anything. And also, it was affecting the way that I was perceived, even if there was no adverse reaction to that.
And if you're not on the defensive about this, if you're not on the lookout and pushing from your core values really hard on all fronts, it is insidious and it will start to change you. Your standards will start to drop if you let it. If it's okay to, yeah, it's a little bit messy, but I'm going to be cleaning the day after tomorrow and I'll get it then. Oh yeah, there's a coffee ring on the front desk, but the cleaner's coming in tonight. That's the cleaner's job. They're going to get it. And none of these things matter, and they all matter a lot, and they all build up because they're amplifying your message and your standards and the kind of thing that your business is, whether you like it or not.
Right. I remember being at a gym at one point a very long time ago where it was clear that a child at some point had left a perfect bar out and it had gotten flooded with ants. And so the gym at large, literally everywhere else, clean, well kept, equipment was really nice. It was light, it was bright, it was a really good setup. And as I walk in to set myself down on the front bench and change my shoes, there is a half-eaten Perfect Bar swarming with ants. Okay, great.
That
Well,
has been sitting there for longer than.
right. That's been there a minute. That
Mhm.
affects now my entire experience in this place.
Yep. And that's what you like. People remember the bad stuff. It's no
Right.
fun because I understand how frustrating it is to do a million good things, and then people are like, "Wait, what about this part?" Like, yeah, you're right. I
Yep.
missed something. Now I'm going to fix it. And auditing this stuff regularly, by the way, is really important. I just this morning had a brand new client going through assessments, doing some educational pieces, and I sent them an educational video that I didn't record, but I like, and I sent it to them. And they asked me a very leading question. Hey, so the guy in this video, are you associated with him, or is he just saying something that you would also say?
Mm,
This person has an opinion about how this message was delivered and who is delivering it.
yeah.
I need to get on that right away because it isn't me and it wasn't me. And I'm going to find out what they meant if I can, the best I can. And that just like re-audit education, record all your own education, just slammed about 20 places higher on my list. It's been on my to-do list for a long time. I'm like, I've got stuff that works. It's pretty good. It's fine. Maybe it's not. Maybe I need to re-audit all of this and maybe go back and watch the stuff, the videos I haven't watched for 2 years, and make sure that they still align with me.
Justin's going to be filming load versus capacity in the coming days.
Yeah, I'm setting up a whole thing. There's also going to be a lot of content shot in the gym when that gets up and running, which will be useful.
I can't wait to see it. What's the letters that are on the bricks?
Oh God, I think it's EFC. I think it's EFC, something like that.
Just
Stamped
EFC
in every
everywhere.
single brick.
Every single brick.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I've decided to embrace it. I did find that I could solve it, and then decided it kind of gives it character and it's weird, and it's good enough. It is functional, and if I hate it 6 months from now, I know how to go back and fix it.
Great. You have the knowledge and are content with the current setup.
Yeah, it's fine. It's part of it.
It's part of it. I love it. That's a deeply considered brand.
Yeah, we try.
We try. Should we do a segment?
Let's do a segment. This is not intentionally, but kind of related to what we were doing.
Ooh.
I did some scouring. I almost did this a few episodes ago, but I've been scouring kind of fancy pants gyms and programs and fancy pants coach mentorship / business mentorship programs.
Great.
I thought it would be fun to read you a slightly anodized description of what the thing is. Like without any names, any brand names at least. There might be some other names in there. Like this is what the gym is, and have you guess what it costs?
Guess what it costs.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And we're going to do a few gyms and then a few mentorship business things, which I thought might also give some of the audience an insight into the kind of stuff that we get pitched pretty much daily.
Yeah.
And sometimes invest in.
Yeah, sometimes invest in, but often offered.
Exactly. All right, so we're starting with gyms and programs. Description. This high-energy, charismatic trainer has over 30 years in the fitness industry and has sculpted bodies for major celebrities. Known for working with professional athletes, including the Lakers, NFL players, and Olympic competitors, this trainer's methodology combines cutting-edge science with motivational coaching. The intensive program includes personalized nutrition protocols, strength training, cardiovascular conditioning, and lifestyle coaching designed to deliver dramatic results within a compressed timeline. Sessions are conducted in Beverly Hills, with the trainer dubbed as, and I quote, the highest paid celebrity trainer in the U.S. This is a 6-week program. What does it cost?
$6,000.
$15,000.
Yeah, of course.
Gunnar Peterson's personal training.
That's ridiculous.
Why 6 weeks? What are you getting done in 6 weeks?
Right. What? Then what? That's so frustrating. 6 weeks for anybody listening. I don't care who you are. 6 weeks is not enough to affect genuine change.
Not for anything that's going to last. That's for sure.
Not for anything that's going to last. Have you watched The Biggest Loser documentary yet?
No, I'm not going to. I know
Oh
what they're gonna.
my.
I know. I don't need to. I
I
hated Jillian Michaels for 20 years. I don't need to.
Okay, well here's the thing. This is side quest. They focused tremendously more on the athlete's experience, and they had many of the contestants on and speaking about their experiences. So the one contestant in particular that Bob Harper like absolutely berated, and we could peel back the layers and maybe expose some racism and sexism and anyway, whatever. She on air, you know what, Bob Harper? Fuck you. And then they cut to him like smug in his suit, like, I probably could have been a little nicer to her. And it's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. It is also, I mean, The Biggest Loser was awful, and that's all reality TV.
Yeah.
All of reality TV is doing some version of that to not only the people on camera.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Number 2, back to the quiz. This is dubbed the world's most expensive gym membership. So think about it for a second. 1,100 square meters, only 1,100 square meters. 1,100 square meters across 2 levels, featuring techno gym equipment in an open plan arrangement, along with high-end gym and spa services, including sauna, massage, body treatments, physical therapy services, and aerobics rooms. The facility offers techno gym checkup body analysis, personal training with certified instructors, and group fitness classes. Members also get exclusive access to the 150-meter uninterrupted glass windows, providing a constant view of the Danube River, premium changing rooms, and a unique experience of training in a floating pyramid structure 15 meters above the river, with reflective floors and backlit ceiling panels designed to create the impression of entering a cloud. It is a yearly fee. How much?
I'm going to guess it's $45,000 a year.
It is a steal at $30,000 a year for
Wow.
the Wellness Sky
Incredible.
in Belgrade. It's interesting. This place is the stuff is. I don't actually like techno gym equipment very much, but some people like it. It's big in Europe. It's all about the appearance. They took over it is a reclaimed building mostly. If you want to look it up, the Wellness Sky in Belgrade, it's a remarkable piece of architecture. And they've spent a ton of money on the floors and the lighting and all of that. Everything else, it looks kind of like a small gym.
Kind of
I'm
mid.
sure the trainers are fine, but you
They're
are paying for
certified,
a view.
Justin.
They're definitely certified. Gym number 3, exclusive celebrity training studio. This ultra exclusive gym requires referrals from existing members and maintains a 100-person waiting list. The facility serves only 300 clients, including Victoria's Secret models, professional athletes, and A-list celebrities. The black-walled studio emphasizes full-body workouts with guaranteed burpees, core engagement, and high-intensity training. You may not use the equipment independently. All training must be with certified trainers. Hint, a certain showgirl is amongst the clientele. We're looking for a
Monthly or
annual fee.
yearly?
Annual.
Annual. I bet that was closer to 45.
It's closer. It's 36K. That's the dog pound in New York.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who, like, bless him, someone referred Hugh Jackman to him,
Yeah.
like a chiropractor client of his. And Hugh Jackman shared, I think, like, once on his Instagram, was like, this is the guy who made me Wolverine. And, like, his business exploded. That was it.
Look at that.
Yeah. And he's got all those dog pounders. He seems amazing and is very well spoken about owning a business and running a business and how important it is to defend your clients. And I've heard him on a couple of podcasts before. He's interesting. We have a revolutionary longevity and anti-aging program.
Oh, great. Is it from Dr. Mehmet Oz?
No, it seems like, well, no. This groundbreaking program, launched by a well-known premium fitness chain, represents the ultimate merger of fitness, biotech, medicine, and nutrition in the quest to slow aging effects. Members undergo comprehensive testing of 100 biomarkers, covering everything from heart, liver, and kidney health to metabolic systems, immune function, cancer markers, and nutrient levels. The program includes VO2 max testing, strength assessments, and movement range analysis, all repeated twice yearly. Members receive a dedicated concierge and core team, including elite fitness trainers, nutrition coaches, sleep specialists, and massage therapists. The package includes 3 60-minute training sessions a week with top-level trainers, monthly nutrition and sleep coaching sessions, and therapeutic massage, totaling a monthly total of 16 hours of coaching per month. We are looking for an annual cost.
I'm going to say $48K.
Only 40. This is Equinox's top product. It's called Optimize. Optimize by Equinox is $40K a year.
Of course.
Which includes the $3,000 a month gym membership.
Okay. Well, a bargain.
Yeah. Last one, because I thought this was fun. This is America's top personal trainer and biohacking expert, his most comprehensive coaching program. It's a year-long VIP program, customized fitness and nutrition plans, real-time wearable analysis, 24/7 access to your coach as your personal health concierge, total guidance on biomarker analysis and testing, and trusted network access. A 1-year commitment minimum for full human optimization. It is a 1-year program. What does it cost?
And it's all remote. It's not in person.
It is all remote.
I'm going to say it's $24K.
$60,000 for the Ben Greenfield VIP coaching program.
My
also
God.
has an in-person weekend, which is only $25K for the weekend.
Right, of course. What a bargain.
Yeah. I mean,
Why
in
go
fairness,
why go?
you get 3 clients. It's not bad.
That's insane. I mean, I guess I don't know for certain that it's insane because I've never experienced what it's like to be a Max Greenfield client.
Right. Yeah. Who knows, right? All right.
Hey, listen, if it's people will pay for it, it's not too expensive.
Exactly. And there are definitely people who will. And if it works, they'll tell their friends. Like how many, that level of service, especially if it's one person doing it, if it's not a team, they don't have coaches that they hire and train, etc. Like how many people could he actually take on that level of service? Assuming
3
given
or
the benefit
4.
of the doubt, let's assume they're definitely doing what they say they're doing.
Yeah.
A couple of clients and you're full.
Right.
Sure. Like this is what it costs. This is what I need. I can only take 4 clients. Therefore, it has to be this.
Right.
All right. I do have 3 kind of business/fitness/mentorship programs. First one is kind of salesy. We have a 7-week intensive private mentorship program teaching ultra high ticket closing skills, for 6- and 7-figure business contracts. It includes live weekly coaching calls, one-on-one mentorship, exclusive community access with successful graduates, real deal recordings, and certification upon completion. Created by someone who has generated over $100 million in sales and teaches advanced psychological principles for closing enterprise level deals. So it's a 7-week program.
Mm-hmm.
What does it cost?
$49.95.
$7,000 for Danlock's high ticket closer certification.
Great. Fully for you.
I do have a couple more of these, but I bet you do this too, but I've gotten really good at reading what they mean in descriptions like this. Like, oh, exclusive community access. Like, okay, so there's a Facebook group
there's a Slack
or Slack, or like it's one of 3 or 4 things which are not necessarily inspiring. Like, exclusive community access.
Oh, community.
Yeah, another Facebook group, another Slack program. Great.
Just what I wanted.
Jumping up a tiny bit, we have an ultra-exclusive mastermind for entrepreneurs operating at the highest level. Only available to proven high achievers who want to join an intimate community of global power players. Features quarterly private events, ongoing access to the world's top performance coach, and networking with multi-millionaire and billionaire entrepreneurs. It is a yearly cost to be in this mastermind.
I want to say $50,000.
$120,000 a year. This is Tony Robbins' Platinum Partnership Program. Tony Robbins has a lot of stuff. I had to decide which Tony Robbins product I was going to talk about on this because I kept running into Tony Robbins.
I should have upped it with quarterly intensive.
Yeah. All right. Last one. This is also a mastermind. This is an exclusive mastermind for entrepreneurs ready to dominate their market space and achieve unprecedented growth. Access to the most advanced business strategies, direct mentorship from a 9-figure entrepreneur, and quarterly intensive sessions with other category leading business owners. Limited to 15 participants who are committed to building category defining companies. It requires certain revenue and a 12-month membership in another program to even be considered. So this person offers a few other things too. This is not Tony Robbins. You have to have been in one of their other programs for at least a year before you're even allowed to buy this.
And it's an annual fee.
It is an annual fee.
I'm going to say $250K.
Only $150.
Only
This is
a
Russell
bargain.
Brunson. Russell Brunson's
Yeah,
Category
of course.
King. This is Funnel Guy. Yeah.
Oh my God. All of these sound like they're written by alphas for alphas.
Right.
Like
And like
100%.
back to brand, a number of these repel me, both in the businessman,
Right.
especially the business
Gross.
mentorship stuff, but some of the gym program stuff too, I find repellent. But I assume they are talking to the people, they are using the language, they are framing
Right.
things in the way that the right person is going to be absolutely attracted to this.
This sounds like a place that I would absolutely not ever want to be.
No, even if the investment were nothing,
Right.
I didn't care about it.
No, you couldn't pay me to go to a gym of alphas.
Exactly. Like I back to the squat rack, right? Like, no, I wouldn't take 10 grand to paint my
No.
squat rack that color,
No.
you fucking lunatic. No, you couldn't pay me $150,000 a year to have to show up to these meetings and listen to these people pat themselves on the back
No.
while they stay still or slide backwards or take credit for things that they didn't do.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how Weezy and I get pitched stuff like this on an incredibly regular basis. And this is what a lot of it sounds like.
Yes. Yes. And I think we've talked about this before, but sometimes if I'm feeling particularly spicy, I will reply.
Mm-hmm. I reply a lot. Not always.
I usually just leave them in like message requests and then like, hey, it's there for a rainy day. Yeah. But I did reply kind of spicily to somebody this week who sent me over initially like a, hey, I really love your feed, and he made a specific call out. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Not just like a love the vibe you're putting out there, Weezy, with an emotion or an emoji. He actually like did a little bit of research and waited for me to reply. And I did, and was like, okay, well, this is different. Let's see. And then he had a soft pitch. Like, hey, would you be open to an audit? I work with people like this to help them get a really big audience, maybe take a look at their brand, see if that resonates. And I didn't reply. And then 2 days later, he sent back a, I know you're not too busy to reply to me.
So we wanted to fight. Cool.
Right. Like, okay, great.
Well, he wanted a response, and I'm strongly suspecting he got one, but I don't.
He did. Yes, yeah, he did, in fact. He said,
bet he fucking did.
It's so wonderful that you've been able to help them grow these brands. And in fact, my book of business is full right now with my audience of just south of 2K. So I'm afraid that your product would be lost on me, and so is your approach. Goodbye.
Yeah. Very well done. Yeah.
Bye.
I will usually, because I worked in sales for Active Life for a little over a year and did a ton, so much like cold DMing and reaching out and DMing. These people liked something, so I said message them, and it was not fun. But I have some sympathy for people who are doing things like that. So a lot of time, if it's like useful, respectful, seems like an honest reach out, a lot of times I will say, hey, I'm not in the market for what you're selling, but good luck.
Yeah.
And then
that's very nice.
If they push it, I will either ignore them or push back depending on to what level they push. A guy kind of yelled at me the other day because I didn't want his YouTube channel expander thing. I was like, no, I'm not in the market for what you're selling. Thank you very much. I didn't say anything about selling anything. I'm just offering, your audience is so small with this kind of videos. You're obviously doing something wrong. Okay. I appreciate that. If you're not selling or don't want me to buy something at some point, this would be a very strange approach that honestly I wouldn't trust.
Mhm.
And I don't like the approach anyway. YouTube is not a primary thing for me. I'm sure you're great at it. Good luck.
Good luck.
And he kind of came back a little bit nicer and then went away on his own after that. I was like, don't fight me with this stuff, buddy. Like, I
Don't do it.
no.
Don't do it.
Like, all
These
the
are things that Ted, who works a corporate job, and Rebecca, who works in a hospital,
Mhm.
don't have to deal with. Somebody doesn't reach out to Ted and be like, have you considered a different database?
Well, you say that, but
Well,
Rebecca,
pharmaceutical reps, I guess. Yeah,
pharmaceutical rep,
okay.
and
Yeah.
people trying to sell the newest surgical schmata, and oh,
Okay.
you should use this extractor instead of this extractor, and like,
Okay.
and at that institutional level, it's it's not her decision to make
Right.
most
It's
of
not
the
her.
time, but they will come in because we're trying out using this extractor for the next 2 weeks because the hospital's thinking of buying it, and we want the physician's opinion. And like, there's going to be a rep around who is just like talking and trying to be nice and trying to be cool. And some of them do a fine job, and some of them, you don't want to be on the wrong side of my wife. I'm here to tell you, I've been there too. I've built up a little more credit in a way that these sales reps haven't. So if they say something diminutive or demeaning or something like that, they will get a beat down verbally, very succinctly.
Yeah.
That will make them feel bad. She's not there to make them feel bad. She's there to do their job. But if they're in the way and causing problems and trying to insert, one of them tried this years ago. One of them tried to come in the operating room, and they may well have been a physician that, like, lots of people in the medical industry kind of sidestep to other things that interface with the medical industry.
Right.
They may well like have known what they're doing in the operating room, but I remember the response being like, "Excuse me? Oh, we're going to come in and make sure that you're using this correctly." Like, you are not. That's not going to happen. So if there's any guidance you haven't given me that you want to give me now, I will listen. But you're not coming in. This is my house, and you don't get to come in.
Right.
And
no.
Apparently that approach had worked in other places and did not work there. Or I don't think they ended up going with that company.
That doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk about sales someday, because there's so much of this stuff is taught.
That can be a you podcast. I don't want to do that.
So much of this stuff is taught. There's like such an industry around teaching sales people, and especially salesmen, how to like do things,
intimidate,
play tricks, and psychologically manipulate and do a thing, and using the same, honestly, a lot of the same stuff we talked about branding, right?
Yeah.
So much of this stuff can be used for evil.
Yeah. Yes.
The way you use language and the way you present tone and the way you approach and all of that can be used to mislead someone and steal their money and like get fitness and medicine out of it. Like, that's what Ponzi schemes are, right? Like, Bernie Madoff's thing was he was getting people, 30% plus returns on their money year after year. And someone would come and say, "Oh my God, I've heard you're amazing. I'd like to invest." "No, you can't. Sorry, we're full. And we only take really big deals, and you're not a big deal. Leave me alone."
Right.
"Okay, well, but do I need to invest more? What do I need?" "No, you can't. No, go away. You can't invest."
You can't invest.
And
Okay,
finally,
well,
they say,
now
"Well, what is it?"
to.
"Okay, I will take $500,000 from you on the contingency that you don't call me and don't ask me what we're doing and just take your returns and be happy with it. Because honestly, I have bigger fish to fry and can't spend my time with you." And that's how everybody got treated. So they gave this person all of the money, and he took that money and gave it to the last people who gave money. It was like, "Look, you just made $500,000. Or he took a bunch of it, but it's like, "You just made $250,000 this month. That's amazing." He's like, "I know, I'm so smart."
So smart.
Pure manipulation. That same set of tools can be used for good and can be used ethically. It's just how you implement it.
That's right. So please use the tips that we've provided you ethically and for good and not for evil.
Don't be evil, guys.
Don't be evil, guys. Team, this has been Training Partners. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We will see you when we see you.
Later, gang.
Here come your training partners, so smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to shine.